So we're going to do an unusual thing here. We're going to mold a wooden door plinth. Of course, we're not going to mold it, or we're not going to cast it in wood. We're going to cast it in an epoxy eventually, but we're going to create a mold with a silicone mold compound. 2 parts. You put in a hardener in the silicone, and you can pour it in on top of the piece, and within just a few hours it's pretty dry and it makes a great mold. So we're going to give that a try here. Get the piece all ready. It's been stained and then also clear coated to help kind of keep the silicone from trying to stick to it, although it's usually not too much of a problem. First thing we have to do is put the hardener in to the silicone and then stir it up. Okay, so that's mixed up good enough. Now we're going to pour it in here. Okay, I'm going to pour it in the middle where the finest detail is first. Slowly pour it. And pour it in the spot where there's quite a bit needs to go into the ends where the mill work was done. It's got to be thick enough so that it's a decent mold, so I hope I have enough actually, because I want it to be good enough to be one piece all the way. I don't want it to be in pieces. I've tried that before and it ends up being a royal pain. Okay, it's just about all of it. And now I just hope I don't run out. Hope it doesn't all flow into one end and not give me something everywhere. So I'm going to check, see how level I am, if I can find the level. Oh, it's perfect. And going back this way. Oh, perfect. Oh, goodness. All right, that's it. And about, this starts to get thick pretty quick, but it'll take overnight to get pretty firm. I prefer to give it about 24 hours to totally be sure that it's good enough to try to pull it out, because I don't want it ripping as you try to separate it. And if you give it long enough, it gets really, really firm. So we shall see. Hopefully this time tomorrow night we'll have a mold that we can give a try. Well, now it's the next evening, so we're going to try this and see how it looks. Just need to take this apart. Maybe I should have sprayed some mold release on these sideboards. Okay, I'm all the way down to the black now. So now I can trim it. Okay. Now, hopefully it comes off the actual board a little easier than the rest. But here I got to be careful because it's a little thinner than I would like. But mostly, I don't think it's too hard of an extraction. It's just when it gets into a little crevice that's really tight. But I don't think this has got that kind of situation. Oh, good, it's coming off. All right, and there it is. And I would say it's a good reproduction. See the starburst? Just beautiful. And the other edges, nice and sharp. We now have the ability to pour epoxy in this and then get excellent reproduction of the original wooden piece. That will provide that. So the next step is to put a frame around this, seal that tightly because the epoxy can really be a mess, and then pour the epoxy in and wait another day and then we'll have it. All right. Okay, so I mixed up a batch of 2-part epoxy, and now we're going to pour it in there very slowly. Now I hope it doesn't leak. That's my big hope. I guess I'll start at the end. I guess I'm not going to pour it all that slowly. Stuff is really neat. It's just going to go in there and it's going to just fill up the mold and it'll be level, it'll be flat, it'll be perfect. Let's hope. And I just guessed how much to make, but I made exactly what I needed. I don't claim any skill, just luck. This stuff's pretty wicked stuff. I sure hope I got it mixed up good enough. If I didn't, it could be a sticky mess. Stuff's very sticky when it's just the epoxy by itself. We will see how it looks tomorrow. Well, it's the next day, and it's nice and hard, so we're going to take it out of its frame and see how it looks. If I can. We are taking this off too soon, dang it. I didn't expect that to happen. It's got a lot of soft stuff right in. Dang it. Right where the design is. I'm going to leave it there. Probably damaged it, but at least it is epoxy. You can repair it to some degree. Well, I'll give it a few more hours.